Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the top 100 favorite games of mine of all time.
Yeah, sure, yours.
What should be the title of this video? Anyway, this is going to be the common intro for these multi-part videos where I'm going to be telling you about my favorite top 10 games in that batch until we reach the top 10 out of the top 100 games. And in these top 100 games, I'll be telling that what kind of game it is. If you think that why some game is not in my top 100, the most probable answer is going to be maybe I've not played it. If I have played it, well, maybe it's below top 100, and that's why it's not in this list. Anyway, these are my personal choices. Everyone have their own opinion. I have a good collection of games which have some parts of BGG's top 100, some of reviewers' favorite games, whether it's Dice Tower, Rado, Board Game Co. And from their choices, whatever matches my choice, I used to purchase a lot of games, and from that this top 100 has come as what I think is my favorite top 100 games. So with this common intro, let's get on with today's segment. Now we are up to 71 to 80,
Yes,
and the first one is a game which you have not played.
I have not played.
So number 80 is going to be Dominion. Now, to be honest, Dominion is a game which I don't own, but I have played it digitally a lot, and I love this game. But the main reason why I don't think I still own this game is because I don't like its artwork. So
No, only reason.
that's the only reason. It
So,
just had some old timey artwork, which again is not one of my favorite.
so you just played the app because is the artwork better in the app or the same?
No, it's the same. But at
Then
least
what's the difference?
at least I don't have to look at its hideous box with the hideous font on it.
You still have to look at everything else.
I still have to look at everything else. But Dominion is a deck building game. Now, this is the most original, the very first deck building game that ever came out. And of course, many people love it because of it. And even though there have been so many other deck building games, but this has been still in many people's top 100, top 10s even, just because of the sheer gameplay fun that it brings. It has a fixed market in which you can always change from game to game which decks are going to be available to purchase in this one. But the key thing is the hook in this one, which is different from every other game, is that the cards which are going to give you the points have no abilities on them. So when do you actually start when do you keep building your engine using those cards which are going to give you those cool abilities, and at what time are you going to pivot and switch to start earning those high powered cards? And those cards are going to be limited in the market as well. There are high dominion cards which you need to purchase, so you have to decide at some point. But once you purchase them, they become like a dud card in your hand, and whenever it comes, you're just losing an action that you could have done with some other cards. And that slight twist makes it a very unique game. I'll be honest that I have not even won a single time because Dominion players can become very good at finding the combos that okay, this card with this combo is going to get me closer to victory, and you need a lot of practice. So if you're playing with the masters of Dominion, then novices don't have a chance. So it does, your experience does count in this one. It's not a luck based game, even though it's a deck building game where you are going to have a luck of what cards do you draw, but just the buying of those cards adds so much strategy into it that the luck is mitigated, and that's why I don't win this. But still, every time I played it, every time I lost it, I have enjoyed my play of it, and that's why it comes at number 80. Dominion, specifically second edition, is what I have played. Now let's go to number 79, and that is Sonar.
This one I have played.
Yeah. So I haven't played the Captain Sonar version, which is a more famous version, but that Captain Sonar version requires 3 versus 3, so you need 6 players, a real lifetime. It's a
Real time?
real time, sorry, a real time game. But Sonar tones it down It makes it a turn-based game. Plus, you can play it with 4 players, 2 players even if you want. So it's a toned down, more family friendly version of the same game. The concept is going to be the same. It's a submarine game in which you have two teams sitting across the table and they cannot see each other. So it's kind of like battleships but with strategy, where the players are saying that okay, where are they moving their submarine on their map. Both teams have the same kind of map, exactly the same map, and you're trying to figure out where the other team's submarine is based on their movement, because there are going to be some islands on those maps, and of course the submarine cannot hit an island. So you will have a clear plate, clear sheet that you can roll over your map and see, to try to pinpoint that okay, based on the movements the other team has done, where could the other submarine be. And that's the main thing. There are other abilities, so the more you move, you can load your torpedoes, you can use your radars, etc. Other abilities are there, but the main thing is that clear acetate sheet which you can move and try to figure out in which quadrant someone is going to be. Once you have someone's location, you're going to say stop, and then you're going to fire torpedoes and hope you hit them based on the deduction that you have done. And then it starts a cat and mouse game, that okay, where the other submarine is and you have to hit them. Shal, what's your opinion of this game?
There's so like I remember it, but not that much because we only played it once and it was a long time ago. But from what I do remember, I will say that it was a fun game, and I don't think I will win.
You will ever win?
No,
Why?
because I'm not good with it in the type of games where you have to guess where someone's going. It's just like how? How am I supposed to know?
Based on checking that okay, is someone going inside an island, so that cannot be the right path. So you try to shift the path and see does the new path fits in the islands or not.
And also, the only time I ever played this, I just stick to one quadrant for some reason. Like I think it was the upper right quadrant. I don't know why I just stayed there for the entire game.
So anyway, it's a fun cat and mouse game where you're trying to deduce where others are. A really fun time. Sonar on number 79. On number 78 is going to be Azul Summer Pavilion. Now this is the third Azul in the Azul game of lines. Azul Summer Pavilion uses rhombus or diamond shapes, and you're trying to make them. Now, what's different from regular Azul games are mostly abstract games where you are drafting that these tiles, these chunky
Yes.
tiles which are really nice to hold, and once you draft them, then you can place them in different kind of patterns on your board. The key thing about this one which makes it very unique is the combos that you can get, because there are certain things that you can accomplish on your board if you enclose those areas. For example, there are areas with statues, with pillars, with windows. If you can enclose them with your tiles, then you get to get a combo and you get to pick up more tiles than what you had drafted in the turn. There are going to be wild tiles in this one, so it elevates the game much more and makes it much more fun, because not only you're trying to complete the patterns, but also at the same time you're trying to get those combos to get more tiles to finish more objectives and get more points in the game. A really lovely looking game, Azul Summer Pavilion.
Why are you looking at me?
You played it once with us.
I do not remember the time I played this. I only remember when I played the original Azul.
Okay. All right. So no opinions from Michal for Azul Summer Pavilion on number 78. On number 77 is going to be Mission Red Planet.
Did I play this?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Okay, so Mission Red Planet is in the same line of games like Citadel as well as Libertalia, where you're going to have a hand of cards and each card is a different character with different abilities. Now the objective in this one is you have different cards like Secret Agent, Scientist, and these cards are going to let you load different kind of your astronauts in different spaceships. Now there are common spaceships which are going to be going to Mars, and in on the Mars you are playing an area majority or area control game where you want your astronauts capturing different areas and the different crystals resources that are going to be there to score the maximum points. But how you send your astronauts there is the main key of the game, because different abilities of these characters are going to let you load the astronauts into different kind of space shuttles which are getting ready. You can sabotage the space shuttle if a space shuttle is not having any of your astronaut, or maybe one of your astronaut, maybe sabotage it and not let it launch to Mars anyway. You can use some characters to move your players or your astronauts on Mars from one location to another and capture another region. So each turn you will be flipping one of these cards and doing some of the action. So again, it's a game about outsmarting other people, that how, what are they going to do and what should I do to get more area majority in this one. So it elevates, in my opinion, it elevates this game above Libertalia or Citadel because it adds that additional element of area control as well, in other than the smart card play of special characters that are going to be there. So did you remember it now or not?
I remember a bit of what it looks like, and then that's it.
Alright. So that's Mission Red Planet. Not a successful top 10 till now for Ishal because she doesn't remember the games she has played.
I don't remember anything. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then the next one you will remember. On
Yes.
number 76 is going to be Marvel United.
This one I remember clearly. Thank God.
So Marvel United is a very simplistic kids game which adults can enjoy very easily.
It's an all ages game.
Yeah, because the theme is going to be very similar to kind of pandemic. That threats are increasing at different locations, and you have to move your chibi superheroes, Marvel superheroes, around to reduce those threats. There are going to be some supervillain objectives that they are trying to complete. You have to stop them as well. So on each turn, each character, each player is going to control their own superhero, which comes with their own deck of cards. And the card actions are very, very simple. You have some symbols on your cards, which is going to move, punch, or thaw, reduce the threat, or special star symbol, which lets you rescue bystanders, things like that. So you will be playing those cards, and the cooperation comes, it's a co-op game. Cooperation comes because the symbols that someone used on their last card that they played, you can use those symbols as well on your turn. So if someone is desperately needing of one additional move to reach an area where the threat level is becoming very high, then maybe they can help you by playing a card which does have a move action, and when you play your additional move, you can move 2 spaces and then get to do your action. But the main hook of this one is going to be not the superheroes. In my opinion, the superheroes were all kind of same. They had 1 or 2 special abilities which made them different, but it was the villains who acted very differently. They had, every villain had a different kind of objective that they want to complete, and that is what adds real variety to this one. But a very easy game to play and really fun.
Okay, because I remember this, I'll say it was a nice game. I did like it. And I specifically remember how, because one space had all the little slots full, they would just have a chain reaction and then everything would be chaos. There were enemies everywhere, civilians dying. It was horrible.
So only you remember bad things that used to happen in
No, I
board
remember
games.
other good things. I remember other good things. But I also remember that because it would happen so often.
So yeah, it does have chain reactions like pandemic. So if something is full and another you need to add, then it does create a chain reaction, spreading the threat to other areas adjacent to it. So you do like bad things happening because at least they leave a good memory in your brain.
Yes.
All right. So that's number 76, Marvel United. On number 75 is going to be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Now this is a Disney ride themed game by Funko Games. Now it had some kind of production issues. The game is good one if we just ignore a little bit about the production issues in this one,
There were
because it has marble track in it, and the look of this game is really beautiful. It has 3D terrain with marble tracks, and in each turn the players are going to roll the main Thunder Mountain, which acts like a marble dispenser, and the marbles are going to be rolled to different locations, and different marbles are going to come out. So some marbles will represent gold, ore, or water.
water. Yeah.
What you're doing is it's a small deck building kind of game. You will be using your deck of card to move your card around different spaces, and then either extracting that ore using those special cards, gold, or just pulling the water out, doing the dewatering. Using the dewatering, you're going to get money. Using the money, you're going to improve, or when you go back to town, you can either buy shares, which are just points, or you can upgrade your capabilities. There are going to be passive abilities that are going to be awarded to you, which are available in each game, and you can purchase those. So you will always be thinking, okay, in the start maybe I want to invest in some of the key technologies, and those key technologies are going to be limited, so each player is running after to get them. And once you have enough of those, then you're going to try and get the town shares, as well as there are going to be, the more gold you deposit, the more points you're going to get, which is going to take you on the point scoring track as well. So you have to create a balance between when do you invest in powers, when do you invest in points, when do you invest in shares, to reach the end, which is going to be the maximum points value. So the gameplay is very simple, but it's the outlook of this game which looks very fun, very family friendly. Only if they had made that marble dispensing a little bit better, the
Like
terrain a
maybe
little
the
bit better
entrance,
quality,
yeah.
so then it would have been much higher. But even as it is, for me it still functions. I made the cut a little bit bigger in the Thunder Mountain itself, and still it doesn't work perfectly. But uh, again, the game itself is a very simple yet fun game. So that's number 75 for me. What's your opinion?
Wait, give me ratings. I have to rate these games.
No, what's your opinion about the game?
Oh, again, it's a nice game. I love it. It's very appropriate for all ages, and I suppose it's also nice for when you have friends over. And I really I just like the marbles.
Everyone loves marbles.
But I will not stop nagging about how he keeps stealing every gold.
I don't.
You did.
I'm always drinking the water.
But this doesn't mean you didn't get the gold.
All right. So that's number 75, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. On number 74 is going to be Factory Funner. You
We
remember
played this
that?
recently.
Okay.
Yes.
So Factory Funner is a tile laying game. And this tile laying game is going to have, again, simple mechanics, but very deep thought that you need to involve in it. Because what you're going to do is, in each turn, there are going to be different factories that are going to be revealed. Different factories which do different things to different colored inputs to generate them into different colored outputs. So you might be getting a green liquid, red liquid, and then converting it into a yellow liquid, whatever the colors are, doesn't matter. You might get that machine. You have to place that machine on your factory board, but once you place it, you need the inputs and outputs connected as well. If you fail to connect those inputs and output, then that is not a valid placement. So either you make it a valid placement or you discard it and lose points. Now, placing them sometimes also required that you do laborious pipe work, because you might not find a suitable location for it, and you have to make these 3D pipe work network, which are going from how many inputs of liquid does it need, how many outputs is it going to produce, and you have to balance that out to get the maximum points. Each turn you will be scoring the points immediately, and that's essentially what you will be doing. You cannot readjust those things unless you lose some points for few certain things, but majorly whatever you do, that's going to be there. So the original game was Factory Fun, and this is the second one, which became Factory Funner. And what we have played is the new edition of it from kids table board game called Factory Funner second edition, you can call it, which is a more compact box and much more friendly and better artwork on this one. So Ishal, what do you think about this game?
Okay, I both like this game and I both don't like it. I don't like it on the fact that it is frustrating and sometimes you just run out of components. It's very hard to piece everything together and you end up losing more points than you do gaining. But I also like it that the gameplay is like very nice, and I absolutely love that feeling of satisfaction when you actually have two inputs that you can't put to on the second one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so if you find two inputs adjacent to each other,
Yeah.
and then you can immediately slot a factory in between them, which is going to work perfectly for you.
Hmm. I also love seeing the absolute terror on my father's face when I take the token that he wants.
Yeah, so there is slight bit of real time level in this one, where all the factories are revealed and you have to decide immediately which factory do you want to take, and whoever takes the first factory also takes negative points as well. So maybe you want someone else to take the first tile but not the tile that you want. So it's a risk and reward mechanism that you need to balance out. All right, next one on number 73 is going to be Sushi Go, the
Yes.
very simplest entry level drafting game, where you are going to
It's
get
good
a
for it's for babies.
yeah, where you're going to get a hand of cards with cute sushi characters, and you're going to select, okay, I'm going to keep one and send the rest of the hand of cards to someone else. Someone else will be doing the same. They will be keeping one card and giving you the rest, and your own hand of cards is going to at some time going to come back to you, and you're hoping that I'm making that specific set of sushis which other player is not making, because you want to maximize your sushis for certain things. Each sushi card is going to have different kind of point mechanism. So some type of sushi are going to be only worthy if you have a certain number of them. If you have maximum, you're going to get certain points. If you have the some sushi are going to only act if you have a pair of them. Some sushi are going to act if you have another type of sushi already with you, then that sushi becomes worth more points. So each sushi card is going to have different kind of point scoring mechanism, and you want all of them. That's the problem.
Yes. It's sort
So
of like one of those games where you want everything but you can't quite get everything, you know?
yeah, so you have to think, okay, what other people are doing, and should I try to hurt them by drafting this, or I try to keep investing in the cards that I'm trying to make or the pairs that I'm going to make to keep making my pair better. So there is uh, tactics, strategy, both involved, even though the gameplay itself is as simple as pick one card, keep one card, and that's it. You don't have to explain any other rule to anyone. All right. So that's number 73, Sushi Go. Do you have any opinion on its artwork?
Yeah, I thought you were going to go to the next one. The artwork is very adorable. You asked me about it, so that's what I can say. Again, gameplay is very simple. I feel like it's very easy to get someone involved into this, especially if they are experiencing board games for the first time. And so it's just simple fun. Everyone can enjoy it, and everyone wants to get the pudding.
Well, the pudding cards don't score every round. You just need to, pudding is an objective that you need to keep making for the end dessert. So only it scores at the very end. At the very end of the game, if you have the maximum pudding, you get the points. And the player who has the least get negative points. That's bad. So
I love getting that pudding and seeing you get the negative points.
yeah. So that's number 73, Sushi Go. On number 72 is going to be a game by Alexander Pfister called Blackout Hong Kong.
I don't know, play this.
Yeah, this you have not played. So Blackout Hong Kong is a game in which, well, as the name indicates, a blackout has happened in Hong Kong, and you are trying to help out different kind of social workers, electricity workers, to get the power back up, support the population, and essentially it's a Euro game but with slight deck building mechanic as well. What you will be doing is, again, you will be getting these cards, you will be playing with your hand of cards in different kind of slots, and those are the resources that are going to get generated this turn based on what colors you played. And using those resources, there is going to be a dial which indicates that yellow resource represents this resource, let's say water this turn, or this resource represents batteries this turn. So there is a dynamic market which changes every time. You will roll a dice to find out what the market is, and then you get to decide what cards you want to play. The problem is going to be that at some time your hand is going to run out of cards and you have to pick those cards back up, but only once the line which is the slot which is having the maximum number of cards, you're going to pick those up. But you also want to have maximum number of cards to meet certain number of objectives as well. There is a map as well in which you are trying to complete objectives at different city and control the control points. As long as you control those points, you're going to get special abilities. Again, I cannot explain all the game mechanism, but it is a very unique game, unlike any other game that you have played, which makes it really something that I recommend that everyone should play out, and that's why it's on number 72, because there is no other game like this one which I have ever played. So it's not a duplicate of anything else. Very unique game. Now on number 72, Blackout Hong Kong. Do get the second edition because the first edition was kind of very dark, and on second edition, which is what I have, they made the game board pop out with neon colors, and it's much more brighter and better version of the game. On number 71 is going to be Welcome to Your New Neighborhood. Well, the game name is Welcome to.
It's Welcome to.
Yeah, so this you have played. No. You don't remember. Okay, so
No, I
welcome.
genuinely never played this. I looked at it and I was like, ew. So I just went away.
Okay, so Welcome to is my number 71, and Welcome to is one of the first roll and writes that I played, and is still one of my favorite roll and writes that exist. Now, are there going to be more roll and writes in the future on the list? I don't think so. Maybe there will be. I'm not sure. But right now on number 71, Welcome to exists. So Welcome to is a roll and write in which, well, or technically a flip and write. There are going to be others. So a flip and write in which you are going to flip a card, and the cards are going to make a combination of a symbol and a number. What you are trying to make is a neighborhood. You are giving numbers to homes, and you want to keep your numbers in ascending order, because it doesn't make any sense that you are going on a street and the numbers are not in ascending order. So you reach house number 7 and then house number 22 and then house number 3. That doesn't happen in real life, and that's what you are trying to do on your pad as well, or paper as well, that you are trying to make 7, 8, 9, 10, or at least ascending order 7, 10, 15, whatever. So you are limited by the numbers that are flipped on the card. There are different streets, so maybe if the number is not suitable for a particular street, you want to give that number elsewhere. But the other symbol is going to give you some certain abilities as well. So maybe you will be adding fences to the houses, and each of those symbols are different kind of scoring mechanisms that you are going to mark. You can heavily invest in a specific type of symbol and try to complete those objectives. For example, an objective can be that you need to have maximum pair of 3 houses, and the stock market option is going to increase the value of 3 house fences blocks much more than anything else. So if you can achieve that and have more fences covering 3 blocks, then it's going to score you more points. Some are going to give you more points for the number of pools, swimming pools that you have in your houses. So if you can complete those objectives, it's going to give you points. So there are different kind of mechanisms which you can make points, and you're deciding that, okay, which mechanism is going to be the most suitable for me, and trying. So even though the number of cards are, multiple options are opened up, and sometimes you might start with the same thing every player, but every player ends with entirely different looking neighborhoods at the very end, and it's just a very deep strategic game, as well as being a very friendly and inviting game as well, because you are just filling one small piece of paper till the end. So that's Welcome to on number 71. And that brings us to an end from number 71 to number 80 of my favorite games. Hope you are enjoying this list. Again, if you have any kind of suggestion based on these games that I've told, then do leave in the comment that which game do you think should be on my top 100, or which game should be I should try, or maybe I have not played, based on the suggestions that I have made. So until next time, we will see you in the next video. Stick with us, and it's just going to get much better games from here on onward. Happy gaming.
Happy game.